we doing? Good. Woo! Thank you all for coming out to the Rick and Morty panel. Hope you're having a great weekend. We don't have a lot of time, so you're not going to hear much from me, but we're going to introduce everybody, and then we'll get going, okay? Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Harry Belden. I do the voice of Morty Smith on Rick and Morty. Thanks all for coming.
Hi, I'm Ian Cardoni. I voice Rick Sanchez.
Hey, I'm Spencer Grammer, and I voice Summer. I'm a little sick right now. I got sick last night, so I won't be talking as much on this panel, but if you have any questions specific to me, I'll try to answer them.
Well, thank you all for coming. We really appreciate it. I'm a huge fan of the show, have been for a long time. I'm super impressed with what you guys have done with the voices since Justin left.
Thank you.
And, of course, I'm going to ask you a little bit about that. Can you tell me the process of how y'all got hired to do these voices?
Sure. For us, basically, Ian and I, we've just been working actors our whole lives, and it really was as simple as just saying, hey, we see that there are these recastings happening, and we would love to audition for them. And then, with stuff like this, this was like a 6-month process, basically. So it was like, do the audition, send it out via email, and then hear nothing for 2 months. And then later they say, hey, can you do that again? And then another month later, they want to hear it again and again. And then, basically just going through that process until they've narrowed it down to, a few select people, and then lucky enough to just get that call one day that they want you to do it. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. Just sort of one of those weird Hollywood moments. But yeah, as Harry said, about a 6-month audition process. I think the role became available in January of 23. I put together a demo reel, did my first audition mid-February, and then it was June, I think, when I got the call finally, and there were 2 worldwide searches for Harry and I, ultimately. So, we feel incredibly grateful to be a part of this team and this cast that has welcomed us, and we're just happy to be able to keep making episodes 100 years forever.
100 years forever. You guys are contracted still for 4 more seasons, right?
Through season 12, that's correct.
Yeah.
So incredible. It's incredible.
At least, hopefully more.
Right. Many more.
I have a feeling you'll probably keep going. As long as there's science fiction that can be told, I think we're
as long as you guys keep watching, would you watch past season 12? I think so, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, you're here. Perfect.
So, were you already doing Morty's voice and Rick's voice before, like as for fun, or was this a thing that you had to work?
Yeah, no, in the sense of for fun. Yeah, it was like sitting around with your friends and doing like many of you do or did, I imagine. You're just watching and you do little bits with each other, and that turned into like, oh yeah, well, hey, I could at least take a swing at it. I might as well throw my hat in the ring because this is one of my favorite shows. So yeah, I'll audition, and then it just kind of snowballs from there.
It's great that you're a fan too.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the actors don't care what they're doing. But how is it to work with these guys? Do you get to work with them ever?
No, not really. We just record alone. But it's nice to work with them in events like this because they're lovely people, and I think they're doing a great job with the voices, and it allows us to do more of the show. So what could have ended
would have been so
didn't have to.
Right back at you, Spencer.
This is, we get to develop a rapport when we get to travel and do these cons.
They quarantine me at the end of
When you're not in quarantine, but we get to, it's been great to kind of get to know each other a little better on the road and spend this time because that is the only interaction we get. Hopefully that translates a little bit to what you guys eventually see on screen. But and like I said, you guys have just been amazing in welcoming us to one of our favorite shows, and it's still kind of a real surreal part of it for us, because I've heard their voices and I love these characters and just wanted to see it continue.
So tell me about how you got the job for Summer.
I auditioned for this show. I was an on-camera actress. I did maybe a guest star spot on Robot Chicken when I was on the show Greek, and that one still airs on occasion, that Robot Chicken episode. But I got pregnant, and I had a few shows that wanted to test me, but then when they found out I'd be delivering in October, they were like, oh, sorry, we're not gonna hire you. So I was like, I gotta get a job somehow. So I got into voice acting, and I just happened to get this show when I was about 8 months pregnant. And then, yeah, I've been doing it ever since. So it was, I mean, I'm very grateful because it was just also a joy to do the show, to learn the craft of voice acting as well, which is very different than on-camera acting. And I didn't realize how much I really loved it. Plus the show was really funny, so when you go into a job that you really love doing, that you laugh a lot when you're working on it, it makes it not feel like a job. Because there's a lot of jobs you do where you're like, oh, it was okay. You know, everyone has a pseudo family on those shoots, but when you're a part of something that really an audience can love and that you can also love while you're making it, it's pretty incredible. So I've just been very blessed to be on the show, truly.
And you grew up acting, right? Your father,
my dad is an actor, but that doesn't mean I grew up acting. But yes, I watched my parents. My mom was a dancer on Broadway. They met before he was on Cheers, and so I grew up dancing and acting. It was kind of like the family business, but my parents weren't together. So my dad was a drug addict till I was about 13, so I didn't see him that often, to be honest. He got sober eventually, and then, but I was obviously around it a lot. And yeah, I did a few commercials as a kid, auditions that I went on. I had an agent at the time, growing up in LA, and then I went to high school for acting, and then I also went to college for acting, and that's when I really decided to focus on it, when I was about 19, and I booked a number of commercials and guest star spots and all the regular New York shows that you would need to get, and yeah. And then got Greek after I left a soap opera about 3 weeks later, and that sort of spawned my career, and then I had to kind of reconnect with my dad then, because I realized it was going to become an issue in interviews that people would ask me and I'd be like, oh, I haven't spoken to him in 3 years, but okay. So I kind of reconnected then, and then I was like, all right, well, we can just kind of do the whole whatever, it looks cute thing. But yeah. But yes, I did sort of grow up around acting, I'd say. I just didn't get helped out the way people assume I did.
Right, you got the.
Now I just do voice acting, so really, I mean, at that point, it's kind of
That's super important. You know us.
Yeah. But yeah. So you have to kind of be a good actor to do good voice acting, I think, because it's very specific and unique.
Body language.
Yeah, you can't get away with it. Exactly.
That's a great answer. Thank you for being candid in the answer too.
Yeah.
So I'm a big fan of the interdimensional cable. You guys like those episodes? It's kind of like the Treehouse of Terror, Simpsons style, where it's like a bunch of different stuff, I kind of cut my teeth in the first season 3 of that, and then I went back and watched the rest. Do you guys have favorite episodes before you were on the show?
Yeah, I mean, again, Harry and I were fans of the show since day one. It helped us, I think, in our transition into the roles to understand the crazy roller coaster that this family has been on, and all the different, and also just the brand of humor and kind of understanding that, when you pick up a script written by these incredible writers, you kind of know where they've been if you've been following along. And so, I think there was I used to watch the Anatomy Park episode every Christmas with my family, and just kind of threw that into the rotation of holiday watches that we had to watch. Very different flavor from the classic holiday movies you might watch with your family, but
Like Die Hard?
yeah, exactly. Well, that's it is a Christmas movie
For sure. I mean, the
but yeah.
soundtrack is Christmas music.
Yeah, exactly. No, it is. So yeah, that was in the mix for me. That was a favorite episode. Hopefully laid the groundwork for, easing them into the transition of watching the show. Because my parents, I don't know, would maybe naturally gravitate towards Rick and Morty, but they're big fans now, so that's good.
That's great to hear.
Yeah, it's hard to say anything besides Pickle Rick or
Pickle Rick?
the memory Parasite episode. Both of those are they just stick in your memory so well. I loved the Vindicators episode too, because I'm a big superhero fan, and I loved the sort of deconstruction they did of superheroes. I don't know, this is a pretty quotable episode.
Indeed. Spencer?
She doesn't have any from before she joined the show.
Right, she was on the show from
Been
Gil.
there since the beginning.
Do you have a favorite though?
Well, I always like the Keep Summer Safe episode. Rick's Must Be Crazy. So I like that episode. I'm trying to think. I mean, yeah, there's been a lot of really good ones too. I did like the Charger episode this year for season 8 because I just thought, it's a pretty interesting line to hold so much comedy and drama within the span of like about 25 minutes. And so I think we did a lot there. It was interesting to see the story arcs as they've changed and transitioned. And I enjoyed playing that character as an adult, you know, and how nasty life can get as you get older, I guess, was fun. That jadedness, which I think they resonate. There's a lot of like my personality in Summer, I think, that was very different than the characters I'd played previously. So, you know, apart from like, I don't say as many crass things as she says in real life, because I think I'd probably get arrested if I spoke that way. You know?
Right.
Yeah. But there's a lot of my like rebellious nature and independence and, you know, I guess capability. She's very capable of doing things that Morty is sometimes not capable of doing. So, yeah.
We've seen Summer become a real badass, I think, especially in the last couple
She's definitely
seasons.
kind of the sweetest of the characters, but maybe Morty. And you know, over the years, he's definitely gotten grizzled. And
So is Summer.
Isn't Jerry the sweetest?
You know, he's definitely the most innocent.
Yeah.
I think we can say that for sure.
Right? Like, he doesn't do anything like intentionally mean. He's just bad at everything.
Yeah, he's just not. Yeah. He's special. Jerry. Yeah.
That's a solid answer. He's very Jerry, that Jerry. So when you guys first started Hidden Voices over Justin, I was kind of blown away by how good you sound and how almost unrecognizable away from Morty and Rick you guys do. Is there a secret to how you did it? I know some of the trade secrets. I don't know if I can share them, but I want to hear your guys' opinion on how you get that voice so close to his.
Thanks, yeah. I mean, that was the job, was to be seamless so that the fans could have the best experience and just continue watching the show, and we could keep making it. Obviously, I think as the writing evolves, the flavor of the show will evolve as people's voices naturally change over 10 years, and then, you know, hopefully the next 10. You know, there might be subtle differences, but recasts are they're no strange thing in Hollywood. It happens all the time, even to iconic voices. So the goal is to serve the character and the essence of the character. Obviously hit the mark so that there's nothing too jarring, and, you know, try to match the sound and cadence as much as possible. But a great director that we've both worked with at one point said that voice matching is choice matching. And so I think that's a nice, succinct way of putting it, is, you know, get yourself inside the character, and then, you know, hopefully the voice will come out of that. What trade secrets have you heard?
I was gonna say, I'm curious.
Yeah. You mentioned it.
So my friend does the voice matching for Warner Brothers on animation, and so he said that it's kind of like you write the script, and then you hear what y'all can do, and then if there's something that just doesn't come right, if they don't sound right for that word, then maybe you rewrite the script a little bit to a word that you sound better, more convincing for. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think when the scripts arrive in our hands, they've gone through so many revisions that you'd be surprised if there's actually, and hasn't been, as much improv as it might sound like. That's, you know, the job is to make it sound improvisational, but these words are very carefully chosen by some pretty great writers out there. There are definitely, I think, some words that we have in the booth that might give us a little more trouble. We haven't get there yet. So, for whatever reason, you'll hear it in the past couple seasons, 7 and 8. There's a lot of times when Rick will exclaim something like, "We're back, baby!" And for whatever reason, saying "baby," I didn't hear it in the earlier seasons as much, but that word will sometimes kind of catch in my throat in the Rick voice. So "baby," and it sounds a little, you know. So now it's.
I never noticed that.
Yeah, so that's one of I would say that's like my trouble word. And I laugh every time I see it in a new script, but now I get around it with just a baby. So open up.
Okay.
So there's some words there. They're not going to rewrite it though. But yeah. So we just have
infant.
Yeah. I mean, you know, and you have to be your own toughest critic, I think, when you're doing this. In service of the show, in service of the character, in service of the fans, but also, you know, we're constantly trying to outdo the last thing we did. Nobody wants the show to sound the way it should sound more than we do, you know, because that's just, if you're not paying attention to it, we're doing our job in terms of voice matching. But I think also we're coming up on season 9 being released. Hopefully we're past that, and everybody's just enjoying the multiverse again, and we're just along for the ride, right?
Yeah. It was definitely something that, you know, that first season when you guys took over, I was paying attention. And I was just kind of blown away. So it's super cool that you're able to do it, you know. I heard that one of the other things that they do is they'll record things, then they'll slow it down, stretch it out, and then change some of the words so it hits the inflections in certain parts the way that the old actor did.
They don't do that.
Never heard of
I
that.
don't know where you heard that.
We don't do that.
Cool. That's awesome.
We do the fucking work.
100%
Sorry, kids.
authentic, real voices.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
That's because then you get into AI territory, and I don't care if there's kids in this panel. It's an adult show. Fuck AI.
Yeah.
No, we do the work, man. We do 20 takes on every line. So if we didn't hit a cadence just right, or they want something that matches the temp or whatever we're working off of, or they have a different idea, or they do a rewrite, we go in the booth and we do the work.
Yeah, I mean, I get my lines done in one take, but yeah, like that's
Harry's perfect. No, and look, there's things that they can do with editing if there needs to be a sci-fi noise, or if they need to, but I can't tell you how many times that we, and to be fair, I don't want to step on an editor's job. I don't know what we have great editors, we have great people working in every part of this show. So there might be little technical tweaks that they can do. I know, for instance, if they really want a certain burp somewhere in a line, I have a library of my burps that I've done, given them options, and they might insert one or something like that. They might, they'll come up with a Franken line where they like the way I did one half of the line in one take and then the back half in a different take. So maybe they'll mesh them together. Those sorts of tricks are pretty standard and pretty common. But in terms of getting it to sound more like, I don't know, you said the previous guy, I don't really think that's part of our process anymore. And to my knowledge, to my ears, which have had to get pretty good at matching.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I didn't notice any of those kinds of edits, particularly in season 7. Now, something they do is overseas, I know at least in the UK, when they broadcast the show, to make for more ad time, I have noticed, and I believe this is true, they do speed up ever so slightly the entire show to fit in more commercial time.
Wow.
And so when I've watched it when I've been overseas, I'm saying I don't sound that high pitched, and it's slight, but that's one thing that they might do at that level.
Wow.
But in terms of just the final product of the show, I don't believe that that's something.
Well, I gotta say, it's super impressive that you guys nail it so much.
Thanks, man.
Like, yeah, it's because Futurama's been rebooted several times, and even though it's the same actors, their voices have definitely changed. So to hear your guys is like nailing the old actors, it's just incredible.
Thanks. Well, yeah, but that's the thing is voices change. Look at any animated show. Watch the pilot and then watch the latest season. Like, same people most of the time, the voices will absolutely sound different. That's just evolution, whether it's aging, whether it's different choices they're making, whether it's different, creative decisions. Like, things evolve and things change. We don't want things to be static and stagnant 100% of the time.
Right, there's no growth there, right?
Yeah, exactly. We want growth. Yeah.
And Rick and Morty is an ongoing show, so it's not just anecdotal, and there's what happened in the episode previous can have an effect on the next episode.
Absolutely.
And it's gotten pretty deep, now that we're 8th season.
Yeah.
So it's super fun to see when they reference something from like the 2nd season or things like that. And like I said, I watched the interdimensional cable one, and I didn't know a lot of the jokes there because I hadn't watched the first 2 seasons. I was late to the game. But when I went back and then I watched that episode again, I get blown away by how much little minutia is there from previous episodes. So it's super fun. Yeah, and thank you again. So.
Yeah.
When you do Summer, do you pull from your past experiences? Is it kind of like, how often do you get to ad-lib, or is it just, I'm always doing the script?
I'm mostly doing the script, but we did have a record on Monday, and so there were some lines that were like, I felt like were a little bit whatever, so I kind of changed things a little bit, or I got to ad-lib a couple of things that were funny, because after this much time on a show, you really do get to explore more within the range of one character. So, we had the Night Family episode where Summer has a regular voice and then a Night Summer voice, and so that's always really fun. Like the fact that I got to play like a 40-year-old version of Summer as well as her teen self. That's also really fun for me. So there are more episodes that we do sort of like that, where you have to find different aspects to your voice and character depending on what the story is. So yeah, yes, you do the normal acting things, right? You know who your character is, your relationship to the other characters in the scene, and what are the given circumstances, and what you're trying to accomplish in the scene. And so you kind of that's kind of where I go from, and then I, make it a little funnier here if I'm like, the way that jokes work in comedic timing, everyone has like a setup and a punchline, so you kind of have to figure out what part you are in that sequence and how you need to deliver it to make it land.
Fantastic. Do you guys get to be involved in the writing of the show at all very often, or is it like they give you the script? Because there's so much going on, right? Like it's science fiction and it all kind of like melds together and does this thing. So you never get to do.
Well, to give a little perspective, we're still recording little bits of 9, and the writers just finished 11. So they're far ahead. Season 11, yeah. So they're so get excited because we got some great seasons coming up. But yeah, so that's exciting, but also that's just the way the process goes. The writers are farther along by a couple of years usually to what's being released, and again, it's
their animation at least. I don't know if that's totally true for like, let's say a multicam comedy.
Sure.
It's going to be like a little bit.
Oh, the writers are on the floor for a lot of that stuff, changing stuff in the moment
as it happens.
But
Like, don't do that anymore.
Yeah, but as you're prepping for like an animation, just because of the time that you need to get the writing to where you need it to, and then you have the process of animating it and editing and voicing and everything. There's just like a few more steps than just going and shooting something. So
it's also a union thing. We're actors, they're writers, and so it's
That's true. Yeah. I haven't created my own show yet, so But then I would be in the writers' room.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, exactly.
Very good. So, is there anything coming up in season 9 you guys can talk about? Give us a little insight on what's coming up. Just a little bit.
No.
I mean,
But get excited and watch.
That's what I was hoping you would say. I was hoping you'd shoot me down, honestly.
We don't even know
because
when it's coming out either.
Yeah, we'll find out when it's airing when you guys find out.
Probably when you do.
Which keeps it exciting for us as well. I mean, it's really kind of we know that we've that it's great writing. We know that we can say that we're excited for the world to see it. And that based on the couple seasons that we've worked on, we think that the writing's just getting even better and better every year. So, and there's always something for everybody in a season of Rick and Morty. So, same stuff we'd say about all the other previous seasons. And yeah, I mean, it's got the potential for 100 years forever. We love that.
It does.
But yeah, it's kind of fun that we're still along for the ride on some of it. Like we don't know exactly when things are going to air, or sometimes even the order in which they're going to air. So it's really kind of cool. We're still along for that part of the ride with everybody.
I will say season 9 has some of my favorite episodes so far. It's a crazy good season. You guys are really gonna like it.
The show is so deep, and there's so much going on. I find when I watch an episode, I don't remember what's going to happen next a lot of times because it's like everything that happened before what happened now is so crazy that I'm always forgetting what happened in the last one.
I can say I've had to get really, really good at burping, so I've just been working on my burps. Let's hear it. Let me work one up. I'll work up a
Get him a Coke.
So I heard that the old guy would just kind of be drunk during the shooting stuff, and I don't want to talk about him too much, but those burps supposedly were. What's that?
Well, it's just funny because it's like this one episode that was videoed. Because we all did, they did a video of one of the episodes that I did too, but not every episode that you did was like the one that everyone saw. So no, I mean, not entirely. Not everyone is drunk at work every day. But, but for the one episode that they wanted it to be like that, that was true.
I'm glad you cleared that up because you hear rumors and things and you don't know how true they are.
Sure.
Yeah. So the burping thing is especially interesting because I was told that he was just burping because of what he was doing. It wasn't planned scripted burps. Is that the case with you, or not being drunk, but are the burps scripted? Or are they just kind of add them in at will?
I think sometimes the dialogue calls for it, the situation calls for it in a script. Obviously if you're obligated to a scene where Rick stumbles in and the action written in the script is that he's taking swigs from a bottle and trying to say something to Morty. There's a great beginning to an episode, the Observer episode in season 7, where he's lying on the garage floor and making mouth fart noises and stuff. So yeah, there's going to be some burps in that just naturally. But I'm also kind of given permission to chug a non-alcoholic beer and then let it rip and see what happens in a run of a script, which is really fun. And yeah, non-alcoholic beer works because then I'm not on the floor at the end of the session. Lower calories too, which is great. And but you still get the malty texture of the burp. I find it works better than seltzer. So there's just a certain viscosity to bag of potato chips and can I drop brands? Michelob Zero?
Yeah, why not?
Ultra
That's
Zero?
what you use.
Yeah, it's great.
It's your thing.
So, so I can get away with the low calorie, chug a couple cans of that, and then just, I'm real gassy for a session, and then, yeah. So that's, so then
Do you do like a burp take? Do you do like regular versions and then you go through and do like your burp take?
Yeah, so I'll do a couple burp takes and see what I have in the tank, and then
Like a whole burp reel?
We do also have a burp library that we've been building steadily over a couple of years, where especially if I'm just particularly gassy that day, I'll just say, hey, our sound guy Ricky, I'll be like, hey, just leave the mic open and let's see what happens. Everybody takes a 5-minute break and I'm in there just going.
That's super fun.
But any burp that you hear in season 7 onward is a genuine burp of mine. So
That's fantastic. Yeah. So I'd like to know all of your influences. What did you like before Rick and Morty? Comic books, movies, television, and what? I think we all want to hear some of that stuff.
Comic books for sure for me. I'm a big superhero guy.
Who's your dude?
Batman's my all-time fave.
I've heard of him.
Yeah. He's kind of well known. Superman's a close second. Spider-Man number 3. I'm a pretty basic boy. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
No. So I grew up reading comics, watching every single animated superhero show, Justice League, Batman, Spider-Man, all that good stuff. And then in terms of other animation, Ian and I are huge fans of this. I mean, Spencer too, actually. We all quote The Simpsons to each other quite a bit.
I love The Simpsons.
Yeah,
It's the best of all time.
It's one of our recurring bits of just whatever quote pops into our head.
I feel like you guys really know it though, and I just sort of be like, oh.
We've been doing rewatches too, just like back, not together, just like
watching it together.
just like
do jokes.
Harry's doing research for
it's a
role.
good background show to have on
Is
when
that
you've
cool?
seen it a million times.
So you're doing research for a role?
I'm throwing him under the bus. I'm implying that he wants to take over The Simpsons.
Hey,
The
who
Simpsons
wouldn't?
movie is in the works. So
What's that?
the second Simpsons movie
Is that right?
is in the works.
I actually did not know
Yeah,
that.
it is actually in the works.
Now, are you allowed to
allowed
spoil that for us?
No.
Yeah, tell us what you know about the Simpsons movie.
I know that there's a movie and it's The Simpsons. And it's gonna be
That's it. That's all he's gonna give us.
Actually, I was hoping you would shoot us down.
Well, you might want to audition. We'll see.
movie.
I'm excited for it. I'm a big fan of The Simpsons all the way through. The new seasons are great. And if anybody's not watching The Simpsons currently, get back to it because it's fantastic.
You heard the man.
It's fantastic that a show can run for that many seasons.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's inspiring.
It's inspiring, and I think it's it sets a great precedent for shows like ours.
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo also kind of did this.
Scooby-Doo too?
I also really like Scooby-Doo too.
What's wrong with Scooby-Doo?
You do a great Scooby-Doo impression, don't you?
No, I don't.
When you're not so. I won't put you on the spot now.
Oh, come on. Guys.
No, I don't.
So Spencer, what was your
My
inspirational things when you were younger? Yeah.
I really love horror movies. And not that I guess we have a little bit of horror elements in Rick and Morty. But
What's your number one,
my number one horror movie?
if you can?
I think The Exorcist is probably my favorite
Fantastic.
movie. Yeah, might be one, and Rosemary's Baby.
The classics.
That one's.
Could be.
I just got Arrow video player. Did you guys know this? It's like a streaming service for just like cult films. So I've been watching. There's a movie called Frankenhooker that I don't even know if that's on.
Okay.
That movie's
It's a
so
classic.
good though. I watched.
You know this movie?
Yeah, it's a classic. Classic cult movie. But I love movies like that. I think there's something really wonderful, and I love practical effects personally, and I really love that period of time, like 70s, 80s movies where you didn't have crazy budgets, or you were trying to just make films as best you could with what you had. I really like that form of filmmaking, and I think hopefully given how expensive everything has gotten, and I think there's a lot of people who just hate AI. Like the only people who stand to profit from it are really the people who are making it, and it's like they're making it for themselves because nobody really likes it that much.
They're cutting out the talent.
I think that there's a world where we could be making more of those kinds of movies. These like kind of scrappier movies that tell stories that we like that are tangible. So I as much as I'm very angry and sad about the future of filmmaking in general because of AI and all of our budget cuts. I do think it might lay the groundwork for more indie people to get scrappier and make more films. So
I agree. I think it's on the horizon, we're going to get more people that don't want to do it like that.
Exactly.
And so I think we're going to get a lot more.
I hope so.
And DIY stuff.
Yeah,
it's just killing.
Yeah,
knocking out the park.
Yeah, I mean, if it creates a different on ramp for independent people to get involved and start making more art, great. I think that's a great side effect of an ultimately horrible existential threat. But I also think that
I'm like, what other horror movies? I'm like, I love them all. Like Poltergeist movies. I love all the
Yes.
On Elm Street movies. I just rewatched all those. And the Hellraiser movies. I feel like they're so operatic.
Yes.
And
A
silly.
Christmas Story.
True horror.
That I got scared.
You mean the tongue on the?
Yeah. That's not a horror movie.
The horror of having to wear the bunny suit as real.
Yeah. I was kidding.
I did get scared at the ho ho ho.
Wait, thank you.
It is a scary scene.
Traumatized.
Thank you.
As a kid, absolutely. Yeah.
It's made to be scary.
Yeah.
So
that movie for a while.
So we don't have a lot of time, and I want to get to the questions from the audience, but is there anything you guys want to tell the fans that maybe we haven't asked about yet that you think is important for us to know?
Well, I always want to say a big thank you to, first of all, thanks for coming out to the panel.
Yes.
Thanks for coming out to the convention. Thanks for watching our show. The coolest part of stepping into this role for me has just been to see the impact that the show has had on so many people. It's just a lot of stories, and whether that's just people just gravitate towards the off-color humor, or whether it's a show that got them through a really tough time. There's anywhere in that spectrum. It's really amazing to see. So thank you for watching. Please keep watching, and we'll continue to make our multiverse adventures.
Fantastic. All right, I'm going to turn it over to you guys with some questions. First hand. Anybody?
Questions.
Over there, and speak loud, please.
Is there like an animated movie or TV show that if it gets being made that you guys would like to be a part of?
Oh wow. Okay, I heard there's a new Simpsons movie.
Turns out I was lying, sorry.
I would really love to be on The Simpsons. I actually did a podcast interview with Nancy Cartwright because she started like The Simpsons Declassified and had me on as a guest, and I just kept pitching the same thing, which was like, I think Sideshow Bob should have like an illegitimate daughter.
He has a legitimate daughter.
He has a son.
Oh, I thought it was a daughter. Okay, cool.
I think he has a son. I don't know.
No, I think you're right. The Italian.
He has a son that's an Italian mom hit
the
thing.
Italian episode of Opera.
But like everyone can have an illegitimate. You don't just because you had one kid with certain you couldn't have an
Not everybody can have.
First of all, my dad has like 8 other kids. It's not possible, you know. But I would love to be on that show. That would be cool. Just to be. I really grew up watching it on Sundays, you know, on Fox when that kind of like classic evening of watching. Things I was doing just like before I had to finish my homework, you know, it reminds me of that. So, and now I just, you know, stream everything, even though sometimes streaming like really sucks, by the way, sorry. I hate it.
I'd love to be a Ghostbuster.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
And animated, or do you want to do live action?
Yes.
I heard there's an animated nothing. I didn't hear that. There's no Ghostbusters.
Gotta be careful.
That I'm aware of, at least. Who's next?
If anybody has any, sorry, that's very loud. If anybody has any questions, come and line up right over here and speak into the mic.
Thank you for that. Come on up, guys. Come on up.
Go.
And if anybody has a Patriot score, I'd appreciate that.
Nice. There you go. You got a birthday.
Does anyone have it?
It's a Patriot score.
21-7.
Go ahead, guys.
21-10.
All right. Patriots on top?
Yeah.
By 11 points?
Wow, not bad.
Sounds good.
Bummer.
Yes. So my question is, what advice would you give to somebody like myself who is creating his own animated series and is trying to step his foot into the animation business?
I've never created a series, so I can't speak to that, but I just know as a creative person, it's all about just like putting it out there, finding people that you want to work with and trust, of course, with your creative vision, and finding through channels through them people who know how to get your work out there, basically, you know. So share it.
It's a real tough business. I don't know if there's any one path to getting something made and finding what you might consider success. So that should be good, encouraging news because there's many paths. But But just by creating something, as a human being and not AI, but just by creating something right now in this time we're in, it's an act of humanity. It's an act of resistance. It's an act of courage to go into the arts at all. So regardless of the form that your creativity takes, and regardless of what the market's doing or what the buyers are saying, keep creating and yeah, follow your effort.
You're gonna get a lot of no's. You just gotta keep going. Thank you for the question.
Appreciate it.
Hi, can I ask 2 questions?
Please do.
Yeah, so for my first one, what do you think keeps the audiences emotionally connected to the characters despite the chaos in the show?
Birds. There you go, guys.
Keeps me connected.
I think the fact that they're human beings going through, you know, I was going to say things that everyone goes through. Obviously, not everyone's going through the crazy sci-fi stuff, but all those stuff at the core is all there. You know, family dynamics, family issues, issues with friends, their school or whatever. It's things that we see in our own lives every day. Not in those specific circumstances, sure, but these are human stories being told by humans. So of course, humans are probably going to find it interesting. Is my opinion.
And your second question?
If the show ended tomorrow, it's not gonna end.
Stop. No. Bye.
Next.
What part of your character would you carry with you?
It's actually a great question.
That one. Rick's a problem solver. We got a lot of problems. Let's try to fix them.
Nice.
I would say Morty's confidence in knowing when to put his foot down and stand up for himself.
I don't know, maybe I'd swear more.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
In 2020, Spencer did an ad for a Super Bowl where Rick and Morty got stuck in the ad and like they knew it. What did you think about like an ad being in that kind of stage? And what did you guys think about how it performed and how funny it was?
Yeah, is this the Pringles one or the other?
Yeah, the Pringles one. Yeah.
It was fun. I mean, I just was like excited that I got to be the third wheel on that because they didn't have to bring me in. And I was like, yeah, awesome. I'm in a Super Bowl commercial. That was cool.
That's huge.
Bucket list for me, especially as a character. And then we did another cruise. I don't think it was at the Super Bowl that we did, where I did it in French and I was an announcer because it was like this Adidas crossover with Rick and Morty. But yeah, no, it was cool. I liked that. It was fun. I mean, it's great to just be a part of that kind of culture.
And were you guys watching it when it aired, and what did you think?
Probably. I mean, we were watching the show at that point, but I don't know that I can recall a specific commercial.
I think we got a great meme out of that one, didn't we? Isn't that the one with the meme where he's tearing the paper off the wall? Yeah. All right, we got a good meme out of it. Yeah.
That's solid.
Also,
Right?
I recall eating way too many Pringles around that time. That might have
Yeah,
just
there
been
was like
quarantine.
a pickle flavored one.
Oh, cool.
You could like, you know, it was like mixing. Why am I even doing this ad again? You were like mixing the Pringles together to make infinite possibilities of flavors.
I remember that campaign.
You know, not that anyone hadn't done it before.
Well,
but
with Adults
they
with
had to do a
Blessing, I'd
commercial
love to
for
be
it.
a part of another Super Bowl ad. Something
Yeah.
that'd be really fun.
They're only a million.
Yeah. I mean, it is one of those coveted positions. It was one of the highest paid advertisement slots and the most watched ads. So to be a part of them is always a badge of honor as an actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Great question. How are you?
I'm doing good. I have a question. If you were able to make your own episode, what would it be about?
I love that question.
Maybe just like a really kind of boring day in the life of someone.
I was just thinking that would be so funny, but like nothing actually happens at all.
Nothing happens.
You keep waiting for the big build-up.
You know, and it's all like, follow me. Well, like maybe there's like an element of, and then it becomes just this sad. I don't know, that would be fun for my character at least.
Mine's just Morty doing homework for 20 minutes. He doesn't say a word. He's just at his desk.
Who did that thing where he was like watching all his own movies? Shia LaBeouf should be like Morty
he
watching
rented out a
himself,
theater,
like with a brown bag over his head, and like watching himself go through all of the things he ever experienced in a movie theater would be cool.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, just weird bottle episodes.
Yeah.
This isn't really like a question, it's more like a suggestion for Spencer. You should like pull up the CVS or Walgreens and buy some emergency.
I've had some emergency already, and I have more stuff coming. Yeah. Thank you though, appreciate it.
Very considerate.
I just also want to say, I respect you for being self-made. I see that shit.
Thank you. You know, I mean, everybody has influence and support from somewhere. No one can do anything in a bottle, but you do have to scrap around to get by. It's not, everyone has to work hard to keep a job too, you know. If I was like a real a-hole, I think they'd have had to fire me already, right? Because you can.
Yeah, it's true replace. We found out. True.
Somebody could try to replace me. I don't know. I always found like it's hard. I don't see any great. Someone needs to show me a really great summer impression. I haven't found one yet. Really.
It would definitely be a
one of a
kind.
kind. Yeah, you're
it's
one
like
of one.
a Valley Girl thing, but I make her smarter than that because she is. So whenever any girl does an impression of a Valley Girl, they just make her really dumb. And I think it's just a cadence and a way of speaking, obviously because I'm from California, that it sounds that way. But that she's not an idiot. Yeah.
Very good. Hi.
Hi guys, thank you for coming. I'm a big fan. You guys are my comfort show through everything good and bad. But my question is, do you guys get a notice when you're getting like celebrity guests coming on to the show and doing voice acting with you? Like kind of like Hugh Jackman, like did you know he was gonna be doing what he was doing? I know you know the script, but like do you know like is it the actual celebrity or you know like what are your experiences with that?
Sometimes it'll be like with Hugh Jackman. It was Hugh Jackman in the script, so we were kind of just like, are we really getting Hugh Jackman to do this? And they're like, yeah, we got him, you know, like, or yeah, and then sometimes it'll just kind of be, you know, like, oh, we're trying to get this person to do this role. We don't know if they're going to say yes, so you know, and then usually we just find out way later.
Yeah, when we're doing like our press junkets and we're promoting the shows, when they'll tell us who our like top named guest celebrities are for the episodes, and that's when we talk about them the most.
Yeah.
Take all the magic out of it. It's really just a work thing when we find out about them. But the people who are creating the show, they're very, like, I don't necessarily sit and talk to them about who's going to be on the show, but they're always really excited about the guests that they get on. Yeah, it's very cool to work with people.
It's because, and there are a lot of fans of the show in the celebrity community. I mean, there's a lot of you know huge celebs who you find out are fans and they want to be part of the show. It's very cool. So yeah, I mean, I hope we get some great celebs on there.
I feel like that's something that The Simpsons kind of started. I know that there was special guests in shows prior to that, but The Simpsons, you know, people will kill to be on The Simpsons, you know, and it can like really boost your career. So I assume that being on Rick and Morty is just as significant.
Yeah, it is.
Definitely. Thank you for the question.
Thank you.
How's it going?
Hello, good, how are you?
Thank you, good.
So I apologize if this is already been asked because I missed the first part of it.
You're
like,
good.
Throughout all the seasons, all the episodes, was there a voice line that just really stuck with you? Like could just be like funny or just meaningful to yourself?
Like your favorite line maybe?
Yeah, something like that.
It's kind of hard to get "let's lick tits" out of my head sometimes. I don't know why.
Let's lick tits, because
I think I
it every day. In the Interdimensional Cable 2, I really love the sequence of the girl who's like, how did I get here? And I say it all the time.
You do love that,
in my life, I'm like, how did I get here? Like, how did I get here also? Because sometimes life has that way of, you know, you're putting one foot in front of the other, but then you don't realize that years have gone by and suddenly you've gotten somewhere you didn't expect to get to. So I think about that a lot. It's a very not important line. That means a lot to me.
That's great.
The butter robots. Oh my God. Up there for me.
Yeah.
You know, every other day.
Do you have a favorite line?
I can't think of it right now.
We believe in you.
I know, I gotta write them down to be like, oh, that one.
He just wanted to steal one of ours. He wanted to get real.
But we've also done a lot of panels where we've had that question asked, so I know, I'm like, that's the one that I like today, you know.
Yeah, my girlfriend could probably think of one right now. But thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Well, guys, we're pretty much out of time. Is there any other questions before we go?
Last chance.
This is it.
This is the end.
What's that?
More evil Morty?
Oh, more evil. Oh, you never know. Can't say one way or the other.
I mean, he didn't die.
He didn't die. We didn't
He's
see
not
a
dead
body.
yet. Yeah, unless he's dead.
No body, no death.
Exactly.
Because there's so many dimensions, I mean, I don't think anyone's really dead.
So,
Yeah.
this is a question I was actually wondering this morning before we go.
Yeah.
are you the real Rick? Like, are we seeing the real Rick that we started with in season 1, episode 1, or like have we moved on to a different Rick?
Season 37.
Right?
There's
Like a clone?
Well, one of the alternate dimensions, because the family is in.
Is there like
same summer
a theory that he's not the real Rick?
Yeah, what's problem?
Yes,
Really?
Yeah, but because it's gotten so convoluted. Like since he went to another dimension, and then he took over some other Rick's family and things like that. So are we dealing with Rick Prime, Rick
And it
Alpha?
was the episode where Morty
we know what happened.
or Rick and who else was it? Weren't there two people connected? It was like Rick, Morty. Morty was a million different Mortys, and then so some of Morty's died. And then Rick and Jerry were together, so Archie's still a little Jerry now, and he's a little bit Rick.
Oh, because with the Jericki mix-up, memory Rick that we've seen.
Yeah, so you can like get all of it off, and then I mean, it's an interesting thought.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
because it feels like this is just a vessel, and the essence of who you are is your soul, and what is Rick's real soul.
I think it's cool that our fans, really get into the weeds with a lot of the theories and stuff. It means that they're passionate about the stories. I would take the show at face value until we're told otherwise, and we're not really kind of told necessarily. There could be a road pull at any moment. That we wouldn't be privy to until we pick up that script. So I don't know, but it's just take it at face value. Don't think about it too hard. It's sci-fi. It's fun.
All right, guys. Well, thank you all so much for coming.
Thank you.
Let's give a huge round of applause.
Great audience.